Welcome back to Movie Show Plus. I'm Greg Russell. And as you know, here on Movie Show Plus, we not only like to just talk about movies, but we talk about all different types of entertainment, everything from television to radio to stage plays and also podcast. Well, today I'm joined by Josh Skinner. He's got this great podcast called Jonah and the Whale, where he gets a lot of people who are very, very famous to come on and talk with him. But it's just always a very interesting subject matter. Josh, glad to have you here with me.
Great to be here, Greg. Thank you.
And now tell people a little bit about the podcast and what it's all about.
Well, Jonah and the Well is all about those moments in life that seem bigger than us. Sometimes a situation can seem so large that it feels like it's taking us underwater, and we have to learn to breathe again. So our entire show is about celebrity stories of triumph through tragedy.
And, I kind of picked that up just by the title, because all of us, especially the past few years, have all felt like we've been underwater and we can't swim up. And next thing you know, a whale is just going to come and eat us, and that's it. But like you said,
Exactly.
all of these interesting stories, including like Carney Wilson and so many others. Remember, 98 Degrees and all the like. What is it? I mean, I think actually it's a great thing where, because most regular people, if you know what I mean, think, oh, the celebrities just have these great lives, nothing ever happens. But you're letting them know that no matter what, we're all the same.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that. A lot of the emails and the responses that we get are say the exact same thing, is that a lot of people don't realize that other people go through problems as well. Sometimes it's easy to figure that we're alone in the situation and that nobody else is going through that. And what we try to do with the show is to realize, celebrities are just like us. And, sometimes we can't relate to success, but we can all relate to heartache.
No, that's for sure. And like you said, you've got so many different things, loss of like family members or loved ones, and loss of a job, and just other situations. So they're not all the same. Now, this is what, your second season?
Fourth.
Whoa, double it. There you go. That's right. Bravo. Because I checked out, some of the episodes. I probably then went on to season 2 or something like that. Tell us a little bit about some of the people who you've had on the show.
Well, you mentioned Carney Wilson. Carney Wilson gave an extraordinary interview. We talked about everything from Wilson Phillips to her losing all of her money to the point where she had to work at a needlepoint store in Studio City, California, making $500 a week. Now, this is after her Grammy nomination. This is after 12 million albums being sold. And she just talked about how she had to start over, which I thought was incredible, because how many times in life do we feel like that? We have to start over.
Right, because it even makes me think of the gentleman, I can't think of his real name, but who played Eldon on the Cosby Show, and who wound up working like at a Trader Joe's, and people were saying the same thing, like, oh, wait, what happened here? And it's like, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to take care of yourself and your family. So, there's no shame in that game, as the old saying goes. You do what you have to do. And just, hearing also about when I say the successes, or whatever way you want to look at it, at the end, I mean, that's just moving.
It truly is inspiring, because at the end of the day, we want to know that we all want to be loved, valued, and appreciated. And sometimes we can get distracted from that.
And what made you start this whole thing up in the first place?
My own underwater moments, Greg. I felt alone. I felt alone in my heartache and the situations that I'd gone through. I've lost a job. I've lost a relationship. I've had, people commit suicide in my life. I've had several deaths in my family, and it was very overwhelming. And I felt like I was alone. And I had this opportunity to meet with a company called Lasting Media, and they said, "Run with it. What do you want to do?" And I wanted to create a show that would inspire other people.
Well, this does, that's for sure. And that's the other good part about a podcast. It's not like a half-hour show or an hour show where no matter what, you've got to fill that time. So, you can have stories that go anywhere from 18 minutes to 40 minutes, but all the subject matter is just very, very interesting. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're right. Every story is important.
Mm-hmm. And also, where can everybody find your podcast? Pretty much on every podcast platform, I take it, out there?
Yes, Jonah and the Whale is available on every podcast platform. You can even ask Alexa to play it for you.
If I had known that, I'm going to go talk to her later. She's always listening, so she should have told me that I didn't.
She's a good friend of mine now.
Well, mine, I've got her, and then also Siri, of course. But oh my God, that would be a funny podcast. Talking to Alexa about, you would not believe what people are telling me all the time. And you just have no
Oh,
gut.
Alexa, what is your underwater moment? Yeah.
That's great. Well, like you said, so this is the fourth season. And so this is one of those, especially that it can continue to go on and on and on because all of us have so many stories to tell.
We do. We have a 6-season pickup right now. So I'm really excited. I'll be doing this for quite some time.
All right. So once again, Josh Skinner, and it's Jonah and the Whale. And like we said, for any of us out there, which is probably the majority, who have always had that underwater moment, yeah, you'll be able to listen to this, see a little bit of, or hear a little bit of yourself. And also it's very inspirational too, which is great.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you having me on the show.
You got it, Josh. Thanks so much. We'll be back with more Movie Show Plus in just a moment.